Hello, happy spring and happy spring cleaning. That is the theme for evōx this next couple months. And I wanted to jump in and talk about one aspect of spring cleaning that I'm particularly focusing on myself. Typically, we think of spring cleaning as pulling out all the cleaning fluids and the brushes and the sponges and the rags and cleaning every nook and cranny of the house, which is an awesome aspect of spring cleaning. What I'm looking at, though, it points in a little different direction, and I'm looking at the process of simplifying because I'm particularly interested in that for myself. And I think it fits under the theme of spring cleaning really nicely. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she said to me, "Gosh, you're so courageous. You have so many projects going on." She said, "And those some of those areas you're busy working in, I feel really stuck in." And I was thinking about what she said, and I thought, gee, I don't feel courageous at all. It doesn't occur to me that it's courageous. It occurs to me as I'm very clear about what I'm committed to and want to accomplish. So I'm willing to address the things that are in the way of me accomplishing those things. Now, I didn't always used to be willing to address those things. For example, I'm clearing out my closets. I happen to really enjoy beautiful clothes. So I have a lot of really beautiful clothes, but I don't wear them all. So I need to pick and choose the clothes that I'm not going to be wearing so that I can donate them. And what I get confronted with is the thinking that, well, it's such a beautiful piece and it's so well made. And what if I want it someday and then I've given it away and I don't have it available to me and I won't be able to find another one just like it because it's one of a kind. I started noticing how I was thinking about it, and I realized that it was a version of an old familiar pattern of mine, which is a pattern of scarcity. Like, I better hang on to it because you never know when you might need it. And if I need it in the future and I don't hang on to it, I might not be able to get what I need. Now, that's a very young conversation that comes from a childhood where we really didn't have very much. What was interesting, though, is I didn't realize how insidiously it was showing up in other areas of my life. So I started to realize something about the simplification process. What I realized was the reason it's difficult to simplify even when we know what to do, even when what we need to do is obvious and even simple. What we're actually up against is not the simple doingness. We're up against an old way of operating, a way that we've been living life that was designed to help us feel safe or comfortable. So I invite you to look at areas of your life that you would like to see some new growth in, some freshness of spring in, some space to actually evolve into possibility. What's an area that you have that you maybe feel stuck in? And I realize that we feel stuck when we don't have a bigger commitment than the thing that we have to deal with. For example, weight. Maybe we want to lose 5 pounds and we haven't been able to do that because it hasn't really been urgent enough, but then we get maybe a health, a notice about our health that says if you lose those 5 pounds, this health issue will disappear. So miraculously, we're able to deal with what we have to deal with in the way that we're eating so that we drop the 5 pounds in a couple weeks. So what area of life would you like to have more freedom in? Would you like to have more space in? Maybe it's an area of relationship. Maybe there's some relationships you'd like to let go of. Maybe it's in an area of weight. Maybe it's in an area of clutter. Maybe it's clothing. Maybe it's too many knickknacks around the house. Maybe there's an extra piece of furniture that you've been hanging on to for a long time that you really would like to let go of. What has you hanging on to that old pattern? If you have a bigger commitment than the defensiveness that you felt you needed, then you may find that you're willing to tolerate the discomfort that the old pattern has been obscuring from you. And if you're willing to tolerate the discomfort, then you actually will see that as you let something go, you have more space, more freedom, the pressure's off. Like you have more of an authentic, relaxed access to yourself. So when I look at letting go of those clothes, and I realize that there's this feeling of scarcity, what I have to deal with is the fear around not having enough. And if I'm willing to actually be with that and examine it from now, I can get freed up from the sort of automatic running of that pattern that I haven't been really distinguishing. And instead of continuing the pattern and being, blind to it, I actually have access to consciously choosing how to deal with it. And I can actually start to spring clean in that area of my life. So I hope this is helpful. And I wish you a wonderful spring. And I will talk to you again next month. Take care.